The business of consulting, a weird one, sounds kind of in the coaching lane. It's a very modern idea of someone comes in and they give you their opinions and they make lots of money. But when someone tells you they're a consultant for, what are they actually doing? Well, this video is called, coincidentally, what does a consultant actually do?
Consultants. They live among us, in our cities, our suburbs, and in fancy airport lounges that look down at poor people. But what does a consultant actually do? Today, we investigate. I'm here in front of 10 Hudson Yards, which houses the offices of BCG. BCG is one of the so-called Big Four management consulting firms, alongside Bain, McKinsey, and Deloitte. In total, these firms receive nearly 200,000 applications a year, but accept only 1.5% of them, making them more selective than Harvard and Princeton. But even with all this prestige, fame, and exclusivity...
He had a Slytherin logo for Princeton. I'm pretty sure, isn't that the Harry Potter?
Society is still unsure what the hell consultants do all day.
What is it that management consultants actually do?
What the fudge is management consulting?
What is management consulting?
Clearly, these people are not sure what a consultant does actually.
So to answer this question, I went to TikTok, the place young people go for wisdom and mental health problems. Maybe I could find my answer there.
Oh, chill out with the... Man, hit me with the copywritten music. Crazy, chill.
I could not. So then I went to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which states that management consultants recommend ways to improve an organization's efficiency, which to me sounds boring. I had to go.
Interesting. So a consultant helps improve the organization's efficiency. I can see the value in that as far as an organization, if you're actually improving your efficiency. But if we dig a little deeper, it kind of sounds like money laundering, does it not? It kind of sounds like, yeah, we hire this 23-year-old that's fresh out of college, X amount to improve our efficiency. Don't worry about it. And we do pay him $200,000. We do pay him $200,000. Sounds like the Ozarks, right? Sounds like they're washing money.
Go deeper. It was time for me to speak with somebody who had been inside the belly of the business beast and lived to tell the tale.
My name is Tyler Cook. I live in New York and I work as a research assistant at Columbia University.
Tyler Cook is a research assistant at Columbia University, man with an earring, and former employee at Boston Consulting Group.
What does a consultant actually do?
What does a consultant actually do?
I can't tell how much of this is absolute trolling,
I'd say
bro.
Go to meetings. Go to meetings and prepare for meetings.
Consultants go to meetings and prepare for meetings. I love it, dude. This is kind of like the consultant. This is the corporate consultant version of What is a Woman?
Jesus Christ. It was worse than I thought. I was beginning to fear that talking to a consultant was actually pushing me farther away from my answer. So to try and clarify things, I asked Tyler to walk through a hypothetical case study with me, in which I am a struggling business owner selling a fake product called widgets, and he, my big daddy consultant.
What should we do with our widget company?
Well, first of all, what's the problem with the widgets? Are they not selling? Does it cost too much?
They're exploding in kids' faces.
They're exploding in kids' faces.
It's really bad.
That does sound bad.
So are you an expert in widgets?
And here's the consulting thing is even if you're not, the answer is always yes. So here's what we'll do. Sounds like this is going to be a big case. I think we'll probably need at least three to four teams. One team will be on the PR management for that. Another team will be looking at manufacturing practices and making sure that you're manufacturing them safely and according to plan.
Okay, this all sounds good. And how much is this going to cost me?
Probably somewhere in the order of for 4 teams for a 6-week project.
Easy 6-week project.
Yeah, let's say probably 10 to 15 million, I think.
God, what?
It was in this moment
10 to 15 million, dude. So he presents the problem. Yeah, the product is exploding in kids' faces. Oh, that's a L. Probably should go out of business. But the consultant said the answer is always yes. And obviously there's a lot of satire and humor here, but it does seem like the guy actually did formerly work in consulting and he's kind of giving insight. the plan actually wasn't bad. Guys, if we're talking about saving a company whose product is blowing up in the faces of our youth, that was a good plan. He said, we need a PR team. Start there, PR, right? We probably need the attorneys team to make sure that we don't get sued for any of these explosions. And then we also do need to take care of the exploding part. Now, I don't know if that's like expert advice, but if you're talking, I am married to this idea of this exploding product, and I have to figure out these problems. A 6-week turnover, get all these teams on board, rock it out, and they fix your problems. I kind of see the value, but not for 16 million. This has to be money laundering. Do you know, have you heard a conspiracy about the mattress firms? How there's like a mattress firm every like 2 miles from each other? And there's videos of the mattress firms where someone films the mattress firm, turns across the street with their phone and films the other mattress firm across the street, and how like the mattress firms never have anybody in them. And it's just a complete money laundering scheme, allegedly. I think that's what some of these careers got to be doing, right? Some of these careers are definitely just like BS jobs. Like imagine apocalypse hits, you know what I'm saying? First thing to go, consultant. Along with a billion other jobs, right? All the jobs that are based off technology and not necessity are going.
That I finally realized what consultants do. Make money. And lots of it.
You know, there's a lot of people who deride consultants, say they're, useless, and, they're basically regurgitating information that's being given to them. That's one thing, that does happen. But there's a lot of other work that consultants do. They can go into a company and change things, or they can go into a government and change things. And what I mean is they can change a structure. You hire McKinsey, McKinsey goes in and says, you know what, you need to cut staff. And then the CEO can say, these smart guys at McKinsey, they took a look at our company and they told us we have to cut staff. That's a very common use of consultants, but it does go way beyond that.
Mike Forsyth and Walt Bogdanich are 2 reporters for the New York Times. Together, they wrote a book called When McKinsey Comes to Town. In it, they profile McKinsey & Company, the most prestigious consulting firm in the world. The book gives extensive detail of the firm's more toxic partnerships, from Big Tobacco to Juul, Purdue Pharmaceuticals, the Pentagon, and somehow the Chinese government. And from
that's just selling your soul at that point, right? Right, when you go over that list, Big Tobacco, the Pentagon, and the Chinese government, both of them? The Pentagon by itself, you could be like, oh, they're patriots. The Pentagon and the Chinese government, they're just blood oath with the devil. Keeping it pushing.
their years of covering the biggest name in the industry, they were finally able to boil down exactly what a consultant does all day.
I would say, just for a buzzword, they're brains for hire. Brains for hire by companies.
Wait, that's it? Why did that take us so long to figure out?
Their entire business model is based on secrecy. All their, consultants, all their new employees, their new recruits are told never to disclose names of clients, how much they're paid. And so cracking that corporate veil, piercing it, I guess, was extremely difficult.
Okay, it seems like we asked the question, what does a consultant do, for two reasons. One, because it's unclear. Mike and Walt's reporting came out decades after McKinsey had already been working with the opioid and tobacco industries. Because
and opioid? The Purdue? How did I miss that one? They're doing consulting like, look, you just need to make your fentanyl a little bit more accessible to the streets.
He deliberately doesn't disclose who they work with. And that seems to be the industry standard amongst big consulting firms. So when you see a TikTok of a consultant just chilling on their laptop all day and you're like, what the hell are they doing? That's kind of why. They're not going to tell you. But people also ask, what do consultants do? because in some ways the job seems pretty awesome. You get to travel, learn about other industries, meet other young, smart people, and you get paid so much money. And consulting firms promote it that way.
McKinsey likes to use a phrase, and this phrase is insecure overachievers. And that's the people that are attracted to management consultancies like McKinsey. These people were at the top of their game in high school. Valedictorian.
They said insecure overachievers. And those are the people that come to McKinsey, that come to consulting. Let's see what he says. He said something about valedictorians. Let's run it back.
Like McKinsey. These people were at the top of their game in high school, valedictorian. They went to very often, an Ivy League school. They're facing the first time in their lives, they're going away from an institution and into the real world. And they want something that's an institution that's just as prestigious as the Harvard or Penn. Mom and dad and all their friends will be very proud of the fact that they got a job at McKinsey.
It was very much understood that, you'll work here for a few years. Most people will not stay to become partners, but you'll get your skill set, and then along the way you'll have fond memories of your time at BCG. You'll still have connections, and hopefully when you're at your C-suite, whatever, at your big corporation, you'll hire BCG consultants to do.
Wow. So the New York Times reporter was saying it's the insecure overachievers. It's the people that were valedictorians that want to not peak in high school. They're the meme. They're like an embodiment of like, I do not want to peak in high school. Then this guy pretty much spills the beans of like, you come take the blood oath with our consulting company. We give you lots of we give you lots of money. You get a lot of skill set. You get a lot of notoriety. Then you go work at another corporate company and you pay the devil back. Pay back the company that started it all for you. It's just the beginning of your career. And when you get to the top, you're gonna hire us. And if you don't, I will end you. That's kind of the business model. That's nuts. You come to us. Hey, look, you come to us. We get you started, and then you go. And it is what it is, huh? You're gonna go. You hire us back when you need us, huh? Protection. It's career protection.
Projects for you.
Which is how we get here, I guess, to where management consulting is one of the most influential industries in the world. The only industry that could somehow work with tobacco and the FDA that regulates tobacco at the same time and charge so much money for it. It's an everything job, but it can also be a nothing job. The ideal place for someone that's well educated but kind of directionless to work on secret projects all day that may or may not help the world, but will certainly help a firm make a lot of money and add to that person's private network of connections. A network that would most certainly not include me. What the hell am I doing here? I just spent 6 hours.
That's crazy. Shout out to Good Work YouTube channel. That's nuts, dude. I actually just realized I actually know someone that they're talking about. He was a valedictorian of his high school. He was some crazy, like he managed all the fraternities at like an Ivy League. And then he actually went into consulting, and he did consulting for, he did like ethical consulting. So he would come to companies and give and make sure that everything they're running is like ethical. I think that's with how they're sourcing products and make sure they're not sourcing things from like factories with child labor, you know? And so it's funny that he actually fits directly into that mold of the overachiever, the valedictorian that did all the things at the Ivy League school and is now consulting right out of college. Interesting. Hey, you learn something new every day. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, comment down below. I want to know what you guys think. And if this is your second or third video of mine that you're watching, might as well subscribe. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.